Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. So when the people of Usogood reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in reviewing their AT69 binoculars, I kind of had to think a little bit, to be completely honest with you, and I've sort of talked about this before. I have a ton of companies that reach out to see if I'd be interested in reviewing their products, so I kind of need to be a little bit careful, so I ask myself some questions. Is the product a good fit for my channel? Is the product useful? Do I think people would be interested in watching what I'm about to review? And is it something that for me really serves a purpose? And when I saw these Usogood binoculars, it really checked all of the boxes. You know, I do have to say, I have gone a real long time in life without a good pair of binoculars. So that was the first thing that really caught my attention. And when I started to kind of look at some of the features here, I thought these would definitely be cool and really be something that my viewers and audience would really enjoy taking a look at. And so in this video, we're going to go through these in detail. I had the opportunity to go on an absolutely beautiful hiking, camping, and backpacking trip. Some beautiful fall foliage, some excellent scenery, and some really good views using these Usogood AT69 binoculars. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get out on the trails. Now the first thing is some of the footage while I was out there, quite honestly, I just didn't edit it. I went through it and kind of left it so you could see what I was going through while I was trying to use these on the trails. There are a few things about these that allow you to adapt a cell phone right to the binoculars to shoot footage through them and really capture imagery, which I think is pretty neat. And so I left that a little bit raw so you could see what it was like for me to get my phone mounted. But overall, beautiful, very nice. These worked extremely well and definitely gave me something in my hands that I otherwise wouldn't have had. And then after that, we're gonna come back to the studio. We're gonna go through these in detail. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Usogood who did provide these for review.
Right. You getting them dialed in?
Yep.
Yeah, so we are. But I down there, I said we're probably.
What do you think?
Which way? These are awesome.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, these
Nice.
are really nice.
Yeah, I feel like they're actually really clear. They're like,
Yeah, it gives a real clear view of everything.
yeah, decent focal length. What are you looking down at the cliffs?
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Still can't believe we walked past those and now we're above them. Looking over at those, I was like, for sure, that's gotta be the top.
I'm always weirded out when you look down. You're like, oh.
Chris, you want to give this a try?
Yeah, because that's the lake, right?
Yeah, that's the upper pond. We're down
here?
down underneath to the right.
You just barely see it from here.
But yeah, look at down in the valleys. You end up with some of that rich color. It's nice. A little more deciduous down lower. See off in the distance, those like kind of pockets. What do you think? Pretty decent, right?
Oh yeah,
Not
definitely.
bad. Okay, so it's
kind of centers it that way.
yeah. All right, so now that's at least rolling, and now it's just looking at the inside of the. Like you'd think. All right, hold on.
Oh, it sees the top part of the.
Yeah, like I'm sure square this up better. So if I do it like that.
If you put the binoculars on it and then adjust it until you can see through it, maybe that.
Well, so that's good, right? Because it's right in the middle. So now if I pop that on, like what the hell is going on here?
Well, the camera must be crooked a little.
Again?
No, it's not that piece,
it's
but
crooked on
it's
the.
crooked on it. So you got to like adjust.
I bet you got to turn.
Adjust the phone like left or right.
Well, so it's centered right now.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, but when you stick it on the earpiece, it's got to be like flush with it.
Like this?
Yeah, something like that. It's gonna be.
That's like.
But now, I want to say like if you move this way or that way, it might like push the phone left or right, and it might be better.
You don't generally see bird up this.
I mean, it's like
A little bit.
okay here, but man, it's like having a hard time with
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, that one's not really the best anyway because it's not. Now, if you go to the, is that an Android or an Apple?
This is. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you do the zoom.
There we go. There's definitely people up on there. I mean, this is shaky as hell. Can I stabilize it on my knee?
Do you have your tripod?
No.
Oh, I know. Use your poles.
That's not terrible. There's tons of people up there. That's for sure. All right, so yeah, the key is the zoom feature here. And that's not bad. I think with a tripod, this would actually be decent.
You want to try it with your poles?
I don't think that would be sturdier than just stabilizing it on my knees, but... And I can even put my knees together. That's actually really good. Oh yeah. Absolutely, that's tons of people up there. I mean, it's not the clearest picture, but it does it.
Zooms in.
And I guess if I just yank this real quick off the tripod and show what it looks like without, I mean, to be able to see all the way up there, it's actually not too bad.
Doesn't look like it's a. Oh.
And so there you have it, the field use footage using these Usogood AT69 binoculars. Now, again, the ability to connect your phone to these was pretty cool. I'll give you this, a little bit gimmicky, but it still serves a purpose. Now, the main thing, and one of the most important points I can make, is the optics and the view through the phone is a completely different experience from what you get when you really look through these with your eye. And that's something that I really cannot demonstrate to you. I just have to describe it. So the first thing is, very, very clear. The glass seems to be, I'm not going to say by any means like super high professional quality, but it's really good. You know, I don't have much to benchmark this against. However, I can say I spend a lot of time looking through cameras, through camera lenses. I've had digital SLRs for a good part of my life. I started photography as a kid, and I've worked all the way through my career with cameras in my literal eyes. And these optics are pretty good. So, I mean, there's no like dust or dirt or debris or anything really clouding the vision. There's no like moisture inside of these. They are really nicely made overall, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. Now, the overall clarity, very clear, actually leaving a real sort of deep and 3D impression. You get almost individualized layers as you're looking through, and you're really starting to see separation and good clarity, and I would say contrast between different objects. So where you have trees and leaves and brush and trees and mountains and all these different layers, you can easily fine-tune and get them nicely adjusted. So a good, deep, and refined view through these, I think is pretty cool. And so as I demonstrate to you some of the features, the first thing you're gonna see, I mean, you definitely need to sort of spread these to fit your eyes. For me, this was a perfect amount of adjustability, and I would say, like, unless you're freakishly small or freakishly large, these should pretty much do it for you. Now, you end up with a couple of different ways that you can focus. And here you sort of have what I would call your coarse adjustment, and then over here, sort of your fine adjustment, and really fine tuning your overall ability to get these nice and dialed in, really nice. I mean, in terms of the overall like adjustment and ability to really leverage these for multitude of different reasons, I mean, they've been absolutely great. And you'll see here these eye cups, which you can kind of set the recess on this depending on what you like. Now, for me, I found somewhere in the middle was about perfect. I really didn't want to go all the way down because I have long eyelashes, and that was kind of starting to rub. And in fact, I see a couple spots where, you know, I left some smudges. But if you just back these off just a little bit, maybe 2 clicks, that actually makes a world of difference. And you can see as I dial these in, well, one all the way out, one all the way in. You can kind of see there the difference. And I liked, as I mentioned, 2 clicks out. That was perfect because I got a good overall ability to, you know, get my eyes in there. It really shielded my eyes and protected them well, and no light really spilling in from the sides. But at the same time, my eyelashes weren't hitting on the lens. Now, one thing, if you're not careful, I did find that this ring here can pull off. Now, overall, it's not a big deal, but I think it's just a little bit of a downfall in terms of the manufacturing. It's a minor point, and really it shouldn't matter too much as long as you're careful, but that's just something worth noting. You do have the ability to attach a neck strap. Now, for me, I probably won't realistically use that. I'm not a huge like neck strap type of guy. I did find that, and it worked out extremely well. Not only does this come with a pouch, but I was able to nicely leverage my Mystery Ranch binocular pouch, which was really awesome. I mean, I like this. I've had it for a long time. Has a little bit of molly on the bottom. I covered this in a prior review, but these fitting in here, no problem. And you get these caps here, which are attached. That's kind of nice. You just kind of flop them out of the way when you need them, and then fold them back up into place when you're going to stow these. But these fit in here perfectly, and I can't really say for sure exactly which size pouch this is. I think this is the smaller. They make 2 different sizes. I think this is the smaller of the 2. But then again, you get your rear caps here, and then just fitting these rear caps into place, no problem. So overall, very nice. I am absolutely thrilled to be able to use my binocular pouch. But either way, it does come with one. This is not quite as nice. I mean, it has a strap. It's reasonably protected overall. It's soft on the inside, but I can't really compare this against my Mystery Ranch. So it's not really a fair comparison, but I'm glad that it does come with a pouch. So for general storage, this will be fine, no problem. But the other thing that the binoculars come with, well, let's look at this in just a little bit of detail. Now, one thing worth noting, and just getting into some of the details, these are a 12-time magnification. So that's a fairly good overall. You can see here, actually, when you look at it, this says 12 by 50. So that's the 12-time magnification and then 50 millimeter, and they call that the object diameter. So again, I'm not exactly like, I don't know, I'm not a professional here, and I'm not sure exactly what all of this means, but when it says here 114 meters at 1,000 meters, I mean, what does that really stand for? I don't know. All I know is it's 12 times magnification, and these are definitely perfect. But in reality, that is related to your field of view. There would be a calculation that you could do to figure out exactly what that means. But again, I am certainly not an expert. But again, as we look at some of the packaging here, inside there are a number of accessories. I've already showed you that it comes with the case, and I've really at this point demonstrated the basic understanding of this. However, there's a bunch more here to look at. Now, it comes with a little cleaning cloth. Inside here, this did come with a strap. I think at this point I have some of my accessories in this box here, and you'll notice some of this hardware. Now, again, here is the strap, so you can add the neck strap to this if you so choose. But these accessories, now looking at the front here, you'll see this little sort of area that allows this to thread off. So right here, this cap, if we were to thread this off, underneath here, it does expose some threads. Now, this gets a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit hokey to me. This isn't perfect, and I did not use this way, but you get this adapter here that you can kind of fish in here and install this. And this lets you really get this onto a tripod, which, to be honest with you, while I was out there, I probably should have tried, but I didn't. I handheld this, but you also got to keep in mind, you know, I had a ton of gear with me, and I don't always have the ability to use all of this stuff to the perfect ability. I'm just trying to really grab some impressions. So here you can see this now threading into place does allow me to get this onto a tripod. So here, they do provide this sort of simple little tripod. It's cool. I mean, just a basic little thing, but it does its job. And then getting this on the bottom here, you can thread this into place. So as I work this into place here and standing these up, you'll notice these kind of sit here. Now, this is what you use to attach to your phone. So this here swiveling around. And this, the intent is you get these onto the back side, really, of the binoculars. So there you go. You can kind of tighten this down a little bit and get everything positioned. Now for me, the key is everything I personally shoot is horizontal. I don't do any sort of vertical. So for me, I really want to get everything oriented in the horizontal position, which is what made this a little bit less than perfect for me. You can certainly do it. It takes some practice and a little bit of finagling, and that's what you saw me really messing around with this while I was out on the trails. But if I take my time and really work towards getting everything positioned, I can certainly do it. Now, what ended up being a little bit funny for me is, well, I'm rocking the Samsung Galaxy. This is the S20 model. You have 1, 2, 3 lenses. Well, which one of these is for the camera? Which one is for video? I bet you a lot of you probably don't know, and you do need to figure that out ahead of time. So the easiest thing for me was literally get it into the video mode, and at that point, start setting this into the proper place. Now, that's what you kind of saw me messing with while I was on that unedited footage. I had this in the camera mode, sort of sliding this into place, and then messing around with positioning my actual camera until I got the picture to expose right through the hole. Now, if you're not careful, it can take a little bit, and if you're not careful and you're not on the video mode, you'll notice that will impact things. So photo versus video, it does make a difference. So it'll actually change which lens this comes out of. So you need to be a little bit careful. But as I get this into place here, and that's the upper left corner for me. So getting this actually positioned and into place, locking that down nice and tight. At that point, you can see my vision here is not inhibited, but you can see that as I point right up into the middle of that cup, that's centered. So that's working out pretty well. And then from there, I can actually get this into position. Now, again, this is not going to be the most happy for me because, well, this does not like being in the horizontal position. But getting this locked and into place, it'll kind of do it. But then I kind of got to make some adjustments. And at that point, it's kind of working out. Now, it's not great. And I got to be careful, and you can see I kind of got to slide things around. And this is where I was really trying to play with this and get it adjusted. Now, the other thing you'll notice is, if you're not careful, it's going to really cut down on the overall amount of space and size you have imaging right through the camera. Now, what I found is, what I really needed to do is zoom and sort of correct my picture. Now, I'm far too close in the studio here to really get the advantage of this and show you what I'm talking about. You really do need to see this at distance. But you'll notice here again, the best way to do this is to use your zoom feature. Now, my phone isn't necessarily the best at the zoom option. It's okay, but the reality is it's not going to be the same sort of optic quality that you get when you literally are looking through these. So keep that in mind. I mean, the footage is cool and it's sort of useful. And it really does add a bit of like a zoom lens, so to speak, or telephoto, I should say, to your cell phone, which is neat, but it's not the best. So does it work? Sure. Is it effective? Yes. But to me, it's just a little bit gimmicky. I'm more impressed at these as actual binoculars than I am as leveraging these as more of a telephoto lens. But all in all, I do have to say, a great product. I'm very happy with these. I think a little more practice in getting these outside and leveraging these for more of like my phone and really trying to play around and get these mounted, I'll definitely learn moving forward. But in the meantime, using these as straight up binoculars, very nice. And so again, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Usogood for providing these for review. You know, as I mentioned, very nice. In terms of using these as straight up binoculars, they were great. I mean, the overall quality of the lenses I thought was there. The 12 times magnification I thought was great. I did enjoy having these on the trails very much and actually seeing a little more detail out there than I'm used to. So that was a great treat. And having a good pair of binoculars, I think for anybody, it's just something that makes sense. Whether you're using them for the outdoor recreation, maybe even for hunting. Maybe you're using these to watch, you know, birds or animals. Maybe you're using these actually for a little bit of surveillance or, you know, sort of some home protection or property protection or something like that. There is always a good reason to have a good pair of binoculars. So I am definitely happy to have these. These are definitely going to fill a role that I otherwise wasn't able to. I do think that the phone connectivity thing's a little bit hokey. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily need to really diminish the quality of these. I don't think it does at all. I think that's just an added feature if you choose. So first and foremost, they're binoculars, but adding on the fact that you can kind of leverage these as more of a telephoto lens for your cell phone, that's just cool. And so I'll continue to experiment with these, but in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely useful products, and I can say, I recommend them. And so if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the firearms and tactical side of things. I will have other optics coming up, and not necessarily binoculars, but other things I think you're going to find are very useful. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.